Today is a very exciting day at Tim's Garage because my brand new Firetong exhaust kit for my 2022 Triumph Trident just showed up from Brazil. That's right. This is a Brazilian manufacturer. They're new to parts coming to the United States. So I'm actually doing a video for them, working with them on getting this new kit installed on my bike. And I've just got everything opened up here. I'm just starting to take a look at everything we got inside. It looks like we got everything individually wrapped up. So I'm going to take those apart. We've got some guarantee certificates. We've got our installation guide, and then they also gave me some stickers, which we love. I'll add those to the stickers on the workbench, of course. So what I'm going to do is take these apart and see what's going on, and then tell you guys kind of about this project and what my plan is with all of these awesome new sounds and peppiness I'm going to get out of the bike. All right, I'm already loving this because it only comes in 4 parts, which is super great. And 2 of the parts are these guards that cover up some pieces and just make it look super sleek underneath the bike. So we've got the main exhaust assembly, looks like here, and I'm gonna leave this all wrapped up until I'm actually ready to install, because that thing is nice and shiny and clean. Don't want to get my fingerprints all over it. Looks like this is the main exhaust guard, and then another guard piece here. But then the most important piece that I'm worried about right now is the header itself. And I'm leaving this wrapped up, and I'm gonna tell you guys why. Because I'm about to take this over to a local powder coating, ceramic coating place here in Texas, and I'm gonna get these coated black. That way I have nice, beautiful black headers on the front of my bike. Because right now we've got the stock ones are like that, and I want to have this all blacked out just so it looks super, super sleek. So let's get these over to the coating folks, and then when we get them back, we'll be able to do the install. All right, we've got the headers back from the coating shop. Looks great, that black ceramic looking really clean, really sharp. So the next thing now is to get all the parts taken out and then start the assembly. Before I do that, I'm gonna show you guys what this thing sounds like before, so that way we can get a nice sound for after. All right, and here is the before with the stock exhaust. Okay, now let's get down to the nuts and bolts. So to take this off, from what I've researched, is actually just a few parts. At the front here, one of the first things we need to do is we need to loosen this top bolt here for the radiator, and then remove either this bolt or that bolt there to allow the radiator to swing forward. We're not gonna take the whole thing off, but we're gonna swing it forward to give us access to 6 bolts that are in here on the header, on the old header. So we gotta take those 6 out. So that'll be step 1. And then step 2 is to get at that bolt that's in there where the clunker of an exhaust is attached to the frame. And I believe there's one on this side and one on the other side. And then once we have those removed, we should be able to drop this thing right out. So first step here, loosen up the top and remove this bracket or one of these bolts on the bottom. And let's see if we can get this swung forward. All right, with the top bolt loosened there and the little bracket removed, you can now see that the radiator is very flexible and can be moved forward. I'm trying to figure out how to get this cable out of here, but it looks like this might slip through all the way through. I don't know if I can pop this off. This is welded on the bottom here, but there's enough space now to get in, to get access to these header bolts here, which are just a 13 mil. So I'm gonna get those removed and then work my way backwards. Okay, all the header nuts that are on the bolts here have been removed, so all 6 are off. Now we're gonna move on to the back here, which you can see that guy right in there. And also, I said these were 13, they were actually 12 mils. So 12 mils all the way around, even there. So that's gonna come off on that side. And then you can see there's also, so there's one there, and then there's also one there straight across on the other side by the chain. Look at all the cake dirt and everything on top of this catalytic converter. I cannot wait for this thing to be gone. All right, let's take these two out of the back, and then we're gonna drop this thing. All right, you can see everything's already loose, and one thing I wanted to make sure that you guys know about is to remove the O2 sensor, and that's just here, right on the other side of the pipe, and all I did was just use a pair of channel locks to be able to get that out. It wasn't too hard. So now everything's loose, and let's see if we can drop this guy out. Whew, there we go. Look at that. Gosh, that probably weighs at least 10 pounds. Let's see. There you go. So she's out. Look at that beast. So happy to get rid of that thing. So now that it's out, we're just gonna do the reverse install. But first I'm gonna show you guys the new kit, all unwrapped. Okay, so here's the full kit, all unwrapped. I showed you guys some of these parts earlier. Got the headers, got the two covers, but here is the star of the show, the new silencer, which is pretty slick. You can see down inside, there's a silencer there. They got this cool shape, which obviously works really well with the Trident design. So we've got this beautiful stainless steel can. So one of the first things I'm gonna do is take some rubbing alcohol and just clean the dickens out of it. And then I'm gonna assemble this thing and then put it on the bike as opposed to doing it piece by piece. So you gotta assemble it first and then we'll put it up. So let's clean it, let's put it together, and we'll get it back on the bike. So I've got the first shroud covering installed on the muffler here on the silencer, but before I go any further, I just wanted to show you guys how great the build quality is actually of this Firetong system. I mean, look at how beautiful, first of all, the metal is. You can take a look at the weld jobs. This stuff is really, really nice. I mean, I know a lot of you guys are looking at popping $1,600 plus for that Zard system. And you know what? For me, on a bike that cost me $6,000, putting a $2,000 exhaust system on it, guys, that just didn't make any mathematical sense for me. So that's why I kind of started shopping around, and I found these guys on the Trident 660 Facebook group, and I was like, well, for $700 or so, it was worth giving it a shot. Obviously, the proof is in the pudding once we have the sound up and going, but I just wanted to show you the build quality. This is actually really, really nice. This comes from a Brazilian racing team here. It says Willie Made right on it. Pretty cool. Actually kind of looks like the signature they put on some of those other exhausts. Obviously, they wanted to kind of make theirs look nice. But overall, this build quality is fantastic. Check out these welds. Those look really nice. The bluing on here, it looks really good. High quality clamps. This is a really nice system. So I just wanted to give you guys a brief overview of just kind of the quality and what it looks like as I continue here. So again, I'm assembling this, I'm getting all these pieces put together, and then I'm gonna hang it on the bike. So let's finish getting all of it installed and assembled into one solid piece. All right, just to give you guys a quick side-by-side, there you go. You can see the difference. Look at the catalytic converter and the silencer on the stock stuff, even with the tip coming out, trying to make it look cool, but God, that looks terrible. And then now the new system, wow, looks beautiful. So just want to give you guys this quick side-by-side. So this is now assembled. I got the headers in. There's one clamp here, which I've left loose to allow me to kind of set up some play when I get it in the bike and make sure everything sits in properly. And then you have the hanger here, and then of course the six header bolts that go across. I've just got some tape on here to hold these flange clamps in place so that they don't slide down on me and scrape up my beautiful ceramic. So let's move over to the other side of the bike and get this start to be put in place. But oh man, I'm really excited already. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out the best way to do this, and what I think I'm gonna do is install it the exact same way it came out. So start from front, move it my way to the back. And so I put some pieces of tape here on the flanges, which you can kind of see right there, just to keep the flanges from sliding down and scuffing up my beautiful pipes. So I'm going to put this in first and then try to hang a couple of these correctly. Okay. So that one's there. So let me get my 12 mil nut. Okay, so there's one. I'm gonna get this other one on this side too. Just finger started. Okay, so I at least have one on in there now. And so I'm gonna then do the rear here. So that way this isn't hanging and moving around. So let's move to the back. Let me move the camera carefully. All right, so the back has this one bolt here, and it will go back right in the way it came out, hopefully. Let me just get that in there to start. Cool. And let's go ahead and get that bolt mostly down because it's really long. All right, that's mostly in place, but loose enough to be able to get the rest of it installed. So I'm gonna move back to the front and get all those header flanges ready to go. All right, guys, you can see that the header nuts now are all nice and snug. You can see the top 3 there going all the way across. So that looks good. And then the hanger in the back also looks good. Now, one of the things that I did see was that the bolt that came with the stock assembly, this bolt here, you can see it has the sleeve at the top, so it's too long. And when you go through, because this is a much thinner setup in here, this actually goes all the way through and then is loose. So lucky me, I went into my hardware and I found a same size, same exact thread, black bolt right there. So I threw that in. You can kind of see it sticking through the back there. Honestly, it's even too long than what I need. I may replace it with something shorter, but it's in place. So you can see the exhaust is now nice and tight. So next and final pieces are to tighten up the exhaust collar, which is just a Allen key right there, and then put the O2 sensor back in. So let's get those thrown together. And then before I tighten back up the radiator, I will give it a sound check and make sure there's no air leaks or anything like that. But we're almost done. Okay, everything's tight. So let's fire her up and see what happens. What do you guys think? Much better than stock. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. It sounds so good and it looks so pretty. Everything is just gorgeous on this. All black all the way across, and now we've got a beautiful poppy sound that this bike well deserves. So we're going to button this back up here, and then we'll call this project done. Very, very excited to take it out on the road. And actually, you know what? Before we wrap this up, how about we take it on a road test and see what it's like? Okay, she looks good. Sounds even better. Love it. Sounds great. It looks really good, you guys. Could that get any sweeter? Beautiful, beautiful. Loving the sound, loving it. I'm gonna let this guy go with his dogs. Definitely sounds a lot meaner. It's much more fun than it was before. This is fantastic. Got some popping and the lower RPMs. Beautiful Austin skyline. Here we go.